inevitable mic check. The inevitable mic check. Oh, very low. Everything's low. The inevitable mic check. Oh, very low. Everything's low. Low, low, low. Oh, very low. Everything's low. Low, low, low. Hang on. All right, that should be better for me. All right, that should be better for me. Excellent. All right, so let's. All right, that should be better for me. Excellent. So I'm going to start the stream. Right, so let's. I don't have to actually present anything. The title speaks for itself. Right, so let's. I don't have to actually present anything. The title speaks for itself.
All right, like I said, I'm going to use this little shell here in science to do it. All right, like I said, and we're going to hear somebody that has a radio talk show. I don't recall his name. They probably mentioned it and I forgot. But this individual, from the way they speak, was an atheist and a scientist. And they, like I said, they now have a radio talk show because you can hear him mention that they do a show. But apparently he was an atheist and a scientist, and now he's a believer. I don't suspect he's a Christian, because if he was a Christian, Jesus would be out of every other word. Okay, so I don't think he's a Christian. I'm assuming he's eclectic pagan, because Christians tend to exaggerate and tend to pontificate quite a bit. So he's not one of them. So he's obviously an eclectic pagan, I would say. But anyways, let's hear what he's got to say, and then we're going to discuss it afterwards.
There's a
What do we got here?
Okay, so this is now afterwards. And he's going to discuss the video that he just watched.
We've got an ex-atheist that saw the light, don't we? Yes, we do. When he started investigating this golden, what was it again, the golden ratio and the Fibonacci and all that, he found that there was quite a bit of cover-up going on, didn't he? Yeah, he did. Anything having to do with nature was strangely omitted. Omitted not from just the wiki page, but omitted from actual textbooks, according to him. Actual textbooks that you get in school literally omitted the fact that the golden ratio and Fibonacci is all around us in nature. Why? Because the elites want to keep you weak. See, as an atheist, you have no spiritual power. None. All right? Let's just be honest. You have no spiritual power whatsoever as an atheist, and therefore, you don't pose a threat. It's just that simple. It really is that simple. As an atheist, you don't have any spiritual power of any kind, and therefore you don't pose a threat to the elites, and they like it like that, because that leaves them with the majority of the spiritual power. Like I said, these three monotheistic religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, those are all fake too, so they have no real spiritual power either. Remember the story of the demon that was confronted by the Catholic priest. The Catholic priest said, "In Jesus' name, come out of this person," and the demon replied, "I don't recognize your Jesus." And the demon is right, unfortunately. Unfortunately, the demon told the truth. Believe it or not, the demon actually told the truth. I do not recognize your Jesus. And he's telling the truth, because Jesus is a work of fiction. There is now overwhelming evidence to prove that Jesus is a work of fiction. But anyway, the point here is that atheism is a lie. It's always been a lie. And they're covering up this golden ratio stuff because they don't want you to find out that the only place to be is eclectic paganism. All right? Anything else is just a lie. Anything else is junk, man. Remember, even ancient Rome stole their religion from the Greeks. All they did was just change the names of the gods. And literally, you can literally put the Roman gods and the Greek gods side by side, and they're a perfect match. Rome literally stole Greek's religion. And they just changed the names of the gods. That's all they done. Crazy. But anyways, we all know that Rome, there ain't nothing good about Rome, you know. But anyways, the point is this. The point is that they want to keep you spiritually weak. All right? Because that way you don't pose a threat to them. Simple as that. And the sooner you figure that out, hopefully the sooner you'll realize that atheism is not only a lie, it's dangerous. Atheism can get you killed. Because there's a lot of shit out there that you don't see and that you aren't aware of, and that you just, as an atheist, you just, oh, yeah, all that demon stuff, that's garbage. When in fact it's very dangerous and can get you killed. But see, you just, as an atheist, you just dismiss all that shit, and then the next thing we know, we're reading about your happy ass in the damn obituary column. Okay? Get a clue. All right? Get a clue. Get woke up. Because, spiritual things are not a joke. They're hardcore. They're serious. And you really, really need to understand, um, just how serious that stuff really is. It's not a game. My children. You think I'm going to teach my children how to do magic and how to fight against demonic powers and stuff right now, while they're only 6 and 7? Hell no, no way. I want to make sure they're ready before I tell them about all this shit. Before I allow them to do all this shit. Because if you're not prepared, it's like anything. I mean, if you're an auto mechanic and you don't go to school for auto mechanics and you try to work on a car, what's going to happen? You're going to end up hurting yourself, killing yourself, or you're going to end up blowing up your car. Okay? So like anything, you need to be prepared. You need to be knowledgeable. You need to understand what the hell you're doing. You can't just sit there and just, now, people say, well, what's the point of being a pagan if I can't practice magic? You can still be a pagan, all right? All pagan is that you believe in the gods other than the three lies. The three lies. Christianity, Judaism, Islam, all right? As long as you're not believing in that crap, you're fine. You're a pagan, okay? You don't necessarily have to practice magic or fight against demonic forces in order to be a pagan. Okay, you don't have to do that. Yeah, to be a pagan, all you got to do is just believe that the gods exist, that they're there for your benefit, and that they care about you, and that's good enough. That's really all you need. You don't need a bunch of ceremonies. You don't need a bunch of pomp. You don't need. You sure as hell don't need no sacrifices or blood or anything of that. If you're messing around with that shit, Thoth said, no, that's not the gods. You're worshiping the wrong shit. If you're messing around with blood or sacrifices or dark energy or anything, this one person, I won't give out any names, but this one person said that it's good for pagans to practice with dark energy. And I just felt like reaching through the damn camera and grabbing the sucker by the throat. No, it's not good. It's dangerous. According to Thoth, that's what destroyed Atlantis, is when they started messing with dark science and dark magic, combined the two to create dark energy, and they fucking lost their paradise. And from all accounts, it was a paradise at the time. All right, so no, don't be messing with shit that's that dangerous. Okay, that shit is dangerous. It is not a toy. It's not a game. All right, it's very dangerous shit, and it could cost you your life and the lives of others. Don't do it. Don't mess with it. Anyways,
Okay, so here's his explanation for the supernatural. Oh shit! What have I done here? Here's his explanation for why atheism is a lie. Because of this, because atheists have no spiritual channel or whatever, but the magic, the supernatural, the demons and all that kind of stuff, it's real. And Von Helton's explanation why it's real is this. It's serious. It's serious. That's it.
I just thought that I would share. But now, as you clearly see, atheism is dead. All right. The golden ratio clearly shows that this world we live in was designed. Okay. Well, in order for it to be designed, you have to have a designer. Okay. And even our very DNA. Okay. This golden ratio, this Fibonacci stuff, right on down to the very DNA within our bodies. Okay.
Who designed
There's
God?
no way in hell random chance could do it. No way. No way.
Who says?
It's impossible for it to be random chance. Impossible.
It's impossible for God to exist. Impossible. There's more. There's a better chance of random chance than a no chance. Von Helton.
All right, are you hearing me? There is no way. Well, G-Von, how do you know it's not random? Because you can take these numbers and you can divide them back down to their base numbers again. Okay, if it was something that was...
And then you get to the base numbers, but you don't get to nothing. You get to a base number.
Was entirely random, you'd come up with all kinds of different fucking numbers. You wouldn't come up with the same numbers again. You'd come up with something different. Why? Because it's random. Duh. You know, obviously this is not random. Okay, this is not random. All right, and our buried DNA, this not, where am I at here? This nautilus right here, all of that, you know, the Fibonacci and the golden ratio, all throughout nature, man, all throughout nature. All right, atheism is a lie. Judaism is a lie. Christianity is a lie. Islam is a lie. Now, you are free to continue believing a lie, but understand that now that you know the truth, the gods will hold you accountable for it. They will hold you accountable for the truth you've just learned in this video. They just will.
They just will.
With great knowledge comes great what? Great responsibility, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay? So, you need to figure out what you're going to do at this point. Because I pretty much...
Okay, so we have to figure out what we're going to do at this point. What about you, Von Helton?
Proven that atheism is a fucking lie. I don't think any more needs to be said. I mean, when you start with the greatest things in nature, all the way down to our very DNA and our very atoms, the energy that holds the atoms together, circulating each other, science has no answer. Because there is no answer other than a creator. That's the only answer there is. It's the only answer there can be.